Hey Glam Fam, welcome to today's video. We're testing out the brand new Nars Afterglow Irresistible Eyeshadow Palette. This palette is so incredibly beautiful. I can't wait for you guys to see how this performs. If you're new here, I'm Kristi. I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get glowing.
Let's get loud, come on, lose control. Got to live or we get too old. Come on, shine, shine a little tonight, a little tonight.
All right, my beautiful Glam Fam, let's jump right into it. So again, this is the brand new Nars Afterglow Irresistible Eyeshadow Palette, and I have to admit, I couldn't resist. Oh my goodness, I had to say that, you guys, but it looks so beautiful online. And you guys know, if you're a Glam Fam sister, I'm not really into pink tones, and Nars tends to really just stick with this orgasm pink eyeshadow color story in every palette they have. But sometimes, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. You never know if you're going to like something. This is definitely more on the red undertones of the pink side, and it does have a lot of bronzy shades in here. You guys know this one I just did last year, and this was the Nars Orgasm Rising, I want to say, and this quickly became one of my favorite Nars palettes. I just really loved the consistency, and I loved the color story in this. Just extremely beautiful to date. This is one of my top eyeshadow palettes. Nars just has incredible formulations. This was another beautiful one, and this was the Summer Unrated one. I want to say this was last year or the year before. This one's looking a little worn out now, I guess you can say, just a little bit, but this actually reminds me a lot of this color story. So I'll show you guys. If you own this one, this is very, very similar. But if you're buying a Nars palette, you just kind of know that walking into it, and you just know you're already a Nars fan, and it's not like you need this eyeshadow palette. Anything I review and rate is not anything you need. It's just stuff that you may want, right? And if you're a Nars fan, like I said, you're probably most likely going to jump on this video and watch it and enjoy this type of color story. But very, very similar. I do like that this one had a little bit more neutral undertones in there, and it had some really great like just transition shades, where this one has 0 transition shades, so you would have to use your bronzer or just a shade you have on the side. But just extremely beautiful. Let's take a look at those up close shots I took in natural daylight. I absolutely love those really beautiful shimmer shades. Oh my gosh, you guys, the quality of these shades are just impeccable. Truly, truly impeccable. You can really see the difference when I'm swatching these, although this one is $60, just so you guys know. So this does retail for $60 US, but this is definitely going to fit into the color of 2024, which is why I kind of wanted to do something more peachy in this look, because it is definitely fits within the trend right now. Let's take a look at that first row. So we have Adoration, which is a satin champagne, so much color payoff on that. Amorous, a sparkling gold. Blaze, a metallic sanguine. Hot Rod, a sparkling burnished orange, beautiful. Magnetism, a matte rusty pink. High Stakes, a shimmering rose pink. Take a Shot, a matte cinnamon. Frisky, a glittering amethyst. Mood Swing, a matte chestnut. Pure Bliss, a satin copper. Midnight, a matte espresso. And Nitro, a sparkling deep brown. And this is formulated without parabens, phthalates, mineral oil, or SLS and SLES, just so you guys know. But absolutely stunning shades, you guys. Just really, really beautiful. So I did already do my eyeshadow base because I just filmed another short on the Anastasia Brow Freeze. I filmed it the other day and I wasn't quite happy with it, so I redid it, and oh, you guys, I am obsessed with this product now. It is so good. This is by far the best laminating brow product on the market, and I have tried them all. Refi, all of them. Patrick Ta, I have that one. I just don't think anything performs like ABH, but Anastasia Soare knows what she's doing with brows, and we all know that. So I do have that on, which is why I already did my eyeshadow base, and I have my Gerard Cosmetics in Clean Canvas in Fair. And even if I don't film this portion or even talk about it on eyeshadow looks, I always use an eyeshadow base. I will never do an eyeshadow look without a base, especially with mature eyes because we have so much texture going on there. We need a clean canvas, hence the name of this. And this is just by far the best eyeshadow base you will ever get your hands on. And I discovered this. I pay for it myself. I buy them in bulk sometimes just because I use it so much. So this is just by far the best eyeshadow base I've ever used. So I did do that, and I tend to like to do that before I even put my concealer on sometimes, or most of the time, just because, especially off camera, just because it's easier to set down once I'm setting down the rest of my face. And I just set it down with my Chantecaille powder. We are going to use my Surratt bronzers as a transition because I think some of you have these. So I'm going to use that shade right there, and that one is called Soleil Dew. And that's this one has more redder undertones, and that one has a little bit more olive undertones. Actually, you know what? This has more red undertones. Let's do Soleil Clair. Just kidding. Soleil Clair. That's the one we're going to do. And I'm just going to use that on the same brush I always use it, but I'm going to clean it off a little bit. And this is the What's Up Beauty R104. So I'm just cleaning it on my mom's old hair styling towels. I just, even though it's the same color, I still like to just kind of clean it off. I'm filming this Estee Lauder concealer. Oh, that's the Dior one I was going to show you guys. That was my other favorite. This new Futurist concealer, which is going to be a good contender. You're going to have to check that out. So I'm doing a wear test on that right now. So earlier when I was filming this, I just used that as an eyeshadow, and it was so pretty. All right, I'm going to use that brush, any kind of fluffy brush, and I'm going to start right here where my nose contour is. And I'm going to put most of the pigment there, and then I'm just going to kind of swirl that around. I mean, it's just such a beautiful shade. Even for eyeshadow, the Nars ones has a little bit of a sheen. I liked the Nars matte bronzers better, and I hope they bring those back. And if you like a sheen, then that Nars Laguna bronzer is obviously really good, but it's just not one I reach for. It's good, but it's not one I reach for. You can check out my full review I did last year on the new Nars bronzers because they're all talc free. I know, I probably don't even say that right, but you know what? That's okay. Tomato, tomato. Just bringing that in. I'm just building that transition area. And you can do this with any bronzer you have at home. That's why I'm just using a bronzer instead of a shade. Sometimes I'll go in with my Pat McGrath Idols. I really love this color. It's called Statuesque. Please bring these back. This is literally the best shade ever made, and I can't get it anymore. And I should have just stocked up more. I really should have. I don't know why I didn't. It's like when you like something, you kind of need to buy backups because you never know when a brand is just gonna take it away from you. I can't even get that off. That's how good this stuff is. Let me show you guys. This color is insane. Amber, do you still have these? Oh my gosh, this is just the best color ever made. And this was like a shade. I picked this up when I did my masterclass with Pat McGrath, and her makeup stylist talked about, her makeup artists were talking about how this is like the one color they always have in their kit because it is one that they always use on the runway with every model. Oh, this color is so good. All right, sorry you guys. I know I wasn't supposed to use that, but you know, it's just off camera. It's just the one I always throw in there. I'm just taking a Sigma E61 and blending all of that out so it's nice and soft. I want this look to be more blown out looking. That's what I'm gonna kind of create. All right, let's go into this new palette and let's start off with, we'll probably start off with crimson type color. I don't know how to explain it. We're gonna take this BK Beauty A502. And I just wanna bring that right here. Just not too high. Sometimes these red dyes tend to aggravate and itch my eyes. I have a sensitivity, and actually anything with red dye is not really intended to put around your eyes, but unfortunately that happens a lot with these shades. Really pretty. I mean, just the performance you get from Nars, just cleaning off each time so that I don't get it all over the place. Oh my. That is so pretty. That is really beautiful. All right, I'm gonna take this Sigma, and this is E45 Max, just a tapered, fluffy brush. And I'm gonna go into that matte shade and the first one in the second row, and I always put the names there for you guys. Their shades are extremely pigmented, so I'm just gonna kind of actually dip it off on the back of my hand a little bit, and I'm just gonna go above that crimson color, just ever so lightly. Again, I don't want this to be too powerful. Really pretty shade. I mean, these are just so buttery. One thing I will say about Nars is they're so creamy, but yet their mattes stick. And that's what I like, is that they're not so pigmented, that they're easy to blend even though they're so pigmented, but they stick to the lid. And I love that about Nars eyeshadow. You pay for quality, and that's truly what it is. I'm just going back to that first shade we used, whatever's left over on the brush. I'm gonna build that up just a teensy bit more. Actually, let's take a little bit, so we try to use all the shades in this palette. I'm gonna take a little bit, it's the third shade in the second row, and it's another matte. And I wanna say that one is called Take a Shot, I wanna say. Gonna go same brush we were using, the BKBD A502. And I just wanna see how red undertoned this one is. So I'm just gonna take it a little bit here, right into the crease. This is the one I was afraid was gonna make me look a little too sickly. So I'm going very light-handed. Do you see how far back I'm holding on that brush? I mean, this quality is insanely good. Insanely good. This is a very unpopular opinion, but I was not a fan of the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. I just wasn't. I felt like those just, for that price point, faded away like crazy, and I just didn't appreciate that. And I am just not a person that has a problem with eyeshadow not staying. I don't. I can get a $3 e.l.f. palette to stay, but there are some shades that I just think people completely overprice. All right, it's just my opinion. I'm gonna take a Sigma E40, going back to statuesque, just that first whatever transition shade you used, that's what I'm going back to, and I'm just gonna go over all of that just to kind of make sure we diffuse out those edges, which is just so easy. This is just that palette you know you can work with extremely quick. So good. So, so, so good. Just kind of diffusing out the edges of that too. So pretty. All right, let's do this BKBD A504, a very small, dense brush. We're gonna go into the darkest matte in the palette. I do like to dust off with this because they will go all over the place if you don't. I'm just gonna keep that really tight into the outer area just to give us some structure in the eye. All right, let's go back into the first shade we used, that kind of like a crimson matte, and then we're gonna go above that. Wow, this palette is impeccable, the quality. I won't say this is my #1 color story or anything, and it's not even a color story I'm that attracted to, but I just can't help the quality with Nars eyeshadows. Like I said, if they can just give me an essential brown palette, I will hug them. All right, I think we used all of the shades. We can go back to this one right here, that other pinky dusty pink, dusty rose type matte, and go back over that just to make sure we get some of that pigment back in there. Again, holding that brush so far back so that I don't get it all over the place. Oh, you guys are so pretty. Okay, the other ones are more shimmer shades, these two right here. So I'm gonna probably stay away from those. And I might use those to blend out between whatever glitter one we put on the lid. I'll probably do that. So I'm trying to figure out which direction I want to go here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down a little bit of a base here, and I'm going to use this, oh, you know what? Let's use the new Chromaluxe ones from Pat McGrath, since we haven't used that on camera yet. And this is the Pat McGrath Chromaluxe. She just released those at the end of the year, and this is the shade Twilight something, Twilight Temptation. Really pretty, and this will go so beautiful with this palette. So this, yeah, that's a perfect combination. Oh yeah, Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. This gets me excited. So with these new Chromaluxe shadows, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was really disappointed when I first tried them on because I literally just I felt and I was like, oh, these are amazing. These are so good. And they swatched so beautifully. And then the purple one, I got this lilac one as well because I bought the duo. The purple one was just getting all over the place. All over the place. I mean, it's a beautiful color, but it was so powdery, so much fallout. And then I realized you need the Pat McGrath magic touch of using her. If you don't own this, you need this. If you like metallics or anything, you need this in your life. Like, this is just unbelievably good. And this is the Pat McGrath Intensifies Artistry Wand. She created this for shimmers. For her shimmers, for any shimmers. And this just makes any shimmer stay. It is incredible. Incredible. So we are going to use this, and I think what I'm going to do is I don't like to go directly onto the eye. Any makeup artist will tell you that. That is not a smart idea because you're just asking to pull away any product you already have on there. I literally makes me cringe when people do like, I don't have it right here, but you know, the Rare Beauty or any type of anything with like this type of sponge tip applicators, you know, like the droplet things, like the Rare Beauty blushes going directly onto your cheek. And then, oh gosh, I cringe when people do it because I'm like, don't do that. Warm up the product in your hand, get that product nice and good, and then go in, and it will just make your life so much better. But that makes these chroma things incredible. And then once I did it with this, I was like, oh, okay, I like that. So I am, now that I have a good amount on there, I can go in with a brush and go like that and get into those little nooks and crayons. But because I didn't have this on there, it wasn't already greased up, it would have pulled away all that product. So it's just gonna make your life a lot easier. Trust me when I say that. This is just insane. This should be in every makeup artist kit. It's just that good. Okay, so we got a good amount on there. Now I'm gonna take it with my finger first, and this is again Twilight Temptation, and I'm just going to lay that down there. I mean, do you see how that makes it grip? It's almost gonna give it the same effect I would have got out of her little liquid shadows from Pat McGrath, which I used this the other day with a metallic, and it was like, wow, it's so pretty. I forgot how good that was. But I want to try this on camera, or put this on camera, just because I know I hadn't really done a video on this yet. Look at that. And then the other day when I did this, it was just all flaking down my eye. I was like, with just my normal eyeshadow base, I was like, this thing is not gripping. And sometimes it's just experimentation. I don't watch a lot of other makeup videos. I don't have time for it. So with editing and filming myself, I just don't have time for it because I'm trying to maintain my website too and my blog. I'm so happy that a lot of you were like excited to see how I'm getting some fallout there. That's the only thing about these. So where I did it right now didn't have that stick. So that's why it started falling out a little bit. Anyway, I do have a website blog. I'll show you guys right there, just in case some of you are like, what's your newsletter? And that is not necessarily a newsletter, it's more just my blog, and I pay for that every month. And I'm like, I need to start talking about this every month because I did it to make it a useful tool for all of you guys so that you can reference back to that. It'll have all my links, my codes. I talk about like how to apply press on nails, like that kind of stuff. It's more of like a blog, a style makeup blog. I'm going to start doing more fashion on there too, just style tips and stuff. So be sure to check that out. This is such a beautiful Chromaluxe. Oh yeah. See, that's what I mean. With this stick, it's amazing. All right, and it's gonna go so pretty with this palette. All right, so typically what I would do is I would go straight for the light shades. So I wanna do something a little different than what I normally do. So I'm gonna take that really beautiful orange metallic, I'm gonna put that over this now, and I'm just gonna use my finger, This is just a really beautiful metallic. Show you guys what that looks like in studio. Sorry, I forgot to take off the other swatches. Oh, you guys, that is so pretty. And we're just gonna pop that. Oh, that's so pretty. Ooh, that is beautiful. And don't worry, I'm gonna fix all of that. Just playing right now. Okay, because this is gonna bother me, let me go back in with this brush right here that we used earlier and just kind of blend that out a little. Okay. We're gonna clean all that up in a second. Don't worry, don't worry. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that last shade and we're gonna kind of create like a little miniature halo. I'm gonna go a little bit darker right there. Plus I want it to play with that shade. Oh, that's such a beautiful shade. This would be one I would just pop on the crease or pop on the whole lid for a latte look. Oh, that would be so pretty. Oh my gosh, you guys, that is such an insanely beautiful color. That's probably one of my favorites in this palette. I'm gonna put a little bit right here too. I'm gonna do a little bit on the outer V area where I did the darker shades. Right here, just to kind of match up that inner area of the lid. So we did it right here and right here. Ooh, that's so pretty. Gosh, this quality is unreal. All right, now let's go for that second shade in the palette, that like champagne metallic. We're gonna take that one on our finger. We're gonna go directly down the center. Ooh, that is just too good to be true. All right, let's take that smaller brush we were working with, the BKBD A504. We're gonna go back into the darkest matte. And we're just gonna make sure we place that, almost like pressing that in to that outer V area, just to bring that structure back. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty. Going back into that first matte that we used. Whatever's left over on the brush, just because I don't want too much pigment as I bring it into that inside of my eye. So that's a way to do it. Keep that pigment more out here. I'm going to do that a little bit more on the top right here. That burnt terracotta. Terracotta was the word I was looking for earlier. Oh, that is so pretty. I hope that's not making me look sickly. Let me know in the comments. I can't tell in my monitor. I won't be able to really tell until I go to edit. Sometimes I have mistakes and I'm like, what am I gonna do now? It's too late now. If it looks a hot mess, I won't even know until I start editing. But you know, your girl's a hot mess, so it just fits. All right, let's see. We've used a lot of shades in this palette. I think we've used everything but those little shimmers right there, which we can try those out. Let's use that darker one, this second one in this last row, that one. We're gonna use that shimmer. I'm gonna show you guys how I would utilize that. I need a clean brush because now I have a bunch of dirty ones. That's okay, we're just gonna clean this off. So this is my, again, the Sigma E45. We're gonna clean that off. I'm gonna dip into that, and sometimes using these shimmer, because this has a little bit of shimmer in it, is a good way to transition the metallics into the mattes. See? Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, so that's what we're using that shade for. And that helps kind of not make it so like metallic to matte. Shimmers help disguise that a little bit. Mesh the two together. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, that's really pretty. Okay, so let's use that first shade as the inner corner highlight and the brow bone highlight. So I'm going to take just my little Chikuhoto brush. This is the Takumi like pointed one, pencil brush. And we're gonna take that and we're gonna put that on the inner corner. I put the Nars Orgasm highlighter there earlier and it was so pretty, and that's reminding me of that a little. Actually, it's a lot like that. Sephora 03, you guys know the drill. So pretty. I was gonna use this Valentino one. I do like this one a lot too. We can try this one. This is the Valentino dual pen, and this has black, a black liner, which I'll show you guys. This is a really good liner. You guys know I'm super picky with my eyeliners, and I really like this one and the Syrah one the best. This is one of the best liquid liners. I'm gonna go into the darkest matte with my Rephr number 23. All right, I'm gonna go in with that first shade we were using on my Rephr number 3. Alright Glam Fam, so that is how the final look turned out once I fixed my eyelashes. All in all, I love this eyeshadow palette. I mean, the look came out so beautiful. Is this my perfect color story? Probably not. I'm just not a big fan of redder undertones, but on eyeshadows, on me particularly, but I do think that they performed really beautifully. And oh my gosh, these shimmers are out of control. They're so incredibly beautiful. So let's just rate this palette really quick. Application was just a 5 out of 5. The way it applied was so easy and it blended so easy. Even though they're pigmented, the mattes, they still blended with ease. And I really appreciated that they really stuck. And that again is a huge thing for me. So definitely 5 out of 5. As far as the finish and wear, I mean, these metallics are so incredibly sparkly and beautiful and just adheres to the skin. So pretty. You can really make this look very natural as well as glam it up like I did today. So finish and wear, a solid 5 out of 5. As far as the color story goes, and I'm talking about shades and all of that, I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 5 just because even though it's not my color story, it was very cohesive and it was very monochromatic to a lot of their stuff, their bronzers and their orgasm and all of that. So as far as wear time, I mean, this is my first time trying this palette, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 right now, only because I don't know how it's going to wear all day. You know, I'm just filming this portion later on in the day, so I'll have to be the judge of that later. So I'm gonna give that a 4 out of 5. As far as repurchasing, this is a limited edition. So unfortunately, even if I wanted to repurchase it down the road, because this would take me a long time to get through, it would just be something I couldn't do. So I'm gonna give that a 4 out of 5 just because it's limited edition. So we're looking at 23 out of 25. If this was on your hit list or your wish list, I should say, not your hit list, then I would highly recommend it because it is really beautiful. And especially if you're a fan of this color story, you're really gonna like the formulation as well. Because sometimes we love the color story, but it doesn't necessarily perform that good or apply that good. And this was just muy perfection. So I really hope you guys appreciate that rate card. Let me know your thoughts of that in the description. If you guys don't like that, then I'll just eliminate that portion of the video, but let me know. I know it helps out some of you, so I appreciate that. As far as ranking my Nars palettes, I would say this is Orgasm Rising would probably be second place. I just like that this was just a very compact one and I love the way these perform. And then I would say this is still my first place with Nars palettes. I still really, really love this color story. What I like about this one is even though it has the pinks in there, you still have some of those neutral undertones that make it kind of wearable for everybody. So this one still is first place, but I don't think you can get this anymore. This is summer unrated. Again, limited edition. I loved this packaging too, but I did purchase the brand new Lip Velvets and this is the shade Crush. This is a very comfortable matte, liquid matte formula. I loved her shades in the past with the liquid lipsticks, but they were very drying on my severely dry lips. This one is ultra comfortable. It's very cushiony. I absolutely love this formulation and I really liked this color. I didn't think when I first got it, I was like, ooh, I wish it was just a little bit lighter. It ended up being really beautiful. Is it a shade that I particularly love? No, but I do think it is really, really pretty. So I can't wait to get my hands on an even lighter, more nudie pink shade, nudie peach. So I wasn't really quite sure. I'd like to try them on in store, but it looks so beautiful with the hazelnut. So I applied the hazelnut lip liner. You guys know that's my holy grail #1 lip liner. And I absolutely love, love, love that shade. It's that perfect neutral nudie type shade and it looks really beautiful with this shade Crush. And I just really like the applicator on this. It really hugs the lip so beautifully. I wore it without any lip liner the other day and it was really beautiful as well. In this video, I actually added in my City Lips Nude lip plumping gloss just because I wanted a little plump in there. And then I went over it with my Holy Grail lip color right now. This is probably my #1 lip color, and this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Honey Kiss. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is like the most beautiful glazed donut lip color. I mean, it just makes your lips look so juicy. Then I added in a little bit of my Hourglass Trio. This is like the ambient for darker skin tones, but I always use this as a bronzer, and it looked really beautiful. And what I did was I took this shade right here. This is Charming Poppy from Makeup Forever. I took that onto this Wayne Goss brush that I always use this with. And I just went over my eyeshadow look, and it just makes everything so monochromatic. Love this. This is like one of my favorite blushes of all time. But that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this little mini Ulta haul trying out this Nars eyeshadow palette. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this palette. It is so incredibly beautiful. All right, you guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, before you go, please remember to hit that subscribe button and click the post notification bell. Join our beautiful glam fam. And if you like videos like this, please give it a huge thumbs up when you guys hit the like button and comment below. As always, it really does help my videos out. You can follow me on all of my socials at KristiAllure. Check out my merch, Glamorous Life Collections, and check out this video next, and I will see you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.
I'm holding on, if almost gone.